Hello everyone and welcome to another video on the channel and another episode of Weekly Watches. I think we got 9 this week. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8, is it? Yeah, 8 I think. I think I counted right. So yeah, 8 watches this week. So just over 1 a day. It's not even a mixed bag this week because I enjoyed every single film that I watched this week. There are definitely some highlights within there. But yeah, there wasn't a single film that I watched in the last week that I didn't get on with or just thought was alright. I think everything was. I think the lowest I would have rated any of the films I watched this week is 3.5 stars, which is pretty good. So yeah, very strong week, and that is mainly down to the fact that I've been going off of films that I've personally, as I mentioned in my last Watch Pile episode, films that I've had in the collection for a while. I've seen other people been watching recently, been recommended to me, that they've got on with, that I've thought sound interesting, and I thought I might as well get around to getting them. So I think it's working out quite well, doing it that way, because I am getting around to the ones that I really want to watch, that I've got good thoughts on. But anyway, we'll get started. But I'll mention before we get started, live stream will be on as usual tomorrow night, 7:30. We will have myself, I believe Roy's joining, Sam obviously, Jodie. I'm just trying to make sure I don't forget anyone. I'm just trying to think because I know I've invited quite a few people. It's myself, Sam, Roy, Jodie, Andy. There's 2 more, but I'm forgetting. I know special guest over from the States. We've got Jim. He's the special guest, and I'm sure there's someone else. I'm sure there's someone else. James, that's it, James. It took me a while, I got there in the end. James at Movie Mad. So it should be a great stream tomorrow night. Some great guests, and obviously a new guest in Jim. It'd be great to talk to him for the first time. Obviously he's quite active in the comments, so it'd be nice to get to properly talk to him. Should be interesting. I'll just tease, obviously if you've watched the last 2 streams, we've been looking at specific years in films and whether we think they're good, or alright, or bad. We've actually got 2 years this week, just because I've not managed to pick quite a lot of films from those years out, so I thought doing 2 together. They're from the same decade. I'll give you the decade, I won't give you the years. It's the 70s. One was chosen by Roy and one was chosen by Sam. I'm hoping to keep this going. If we're not doing a quiz, which should be coming back fairly soon, then we'll be doing this and the normal topics that we do, as well as the comments. So it should be a lot of fun. But anyway, I've been waffling on for too long, not even started yet, so we'll get cracking on with the first watch, which I picked up last weekend in HMV when I went to HMV with Tim, and thought I'd just give it a watch last Sunday afternoon, and it is The Last Showgirl with Pamela Anderson, sort of her comeback film, set in Las Vegas. I want to say it's the 90s or noughties this is set in. It doesn't really say during the film. And she plays one of the last showgirls in Las Vegas. The showgirls were like a kind of a dying breed in Vegas at this time. And she gets told that her show, which is the last of the shows in Vegas, is closing down. So her and her friends and colleagues, you got the likes of Brenda Song, Kiernan Shipka, Jamie Lee Curtis, who has kind of left that life. She's now like a cocktail waitress in a casino. You got Dave Bautista, who's kind of there, looks after them at the show. Billy Lord plays her estranged daughter. And yeah, it's a really good drama, good performances in this. Just a nice little small indie drama. Nothing too special. I think I probably gave it about 4 stars out of 5. It was solid. There's nothing wrong with it. It's good. I'd watch it again. I'd recommend it for Pamela Anderson's performance alone. But if you're looking for something that's got quite a big story, there's not much story to this. It's a very simplistic story. It's more about the performances within the story and watching these characters' journeys. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. So yeah, that is The Last Showgirl. Next up, I had a watch along with Sam of a film I'd never seen before. I think he'd seen it twice before, he said. But it was a must watch. It's just essential viewing for any film lover, I think, and I absolutely loved it. And it's Sidney Lumet's 12 Angry Men, starring Henry Fonda. Kind of the first film of its kind, about a jury, sort of courtroom type film. All about the 12 jurors on this jury who all have different opinions when it comes to deciding the outcome of this case of this young man who has been accused of killing his father. All of the evidence that has been provided to them shows him that he's guilty. And they all vote, and one of the jurors votes not guilty, which starts a deep discussion as to whether he really did this or he didn't, and all the evidence is just hearsay or whatever. And really great performances in this. It's very much a character film. It's all set in one room, which I loved. Very tense. Just really interesting watch, seeing these different characters and their thoughts and beliefs as to whether this young man did kill his dad. Led by Henry Fonda, who's the juror that kind of has doubt over whether he did it or not to start with. And slowly, well, you'll see the film. The way it's played out is just really great. It's only an hour and a half. It flies by. It's basically set in real time. But yeah, it's just a great film. And if you're a film lover and you've not seen it, I highly recommend checking it out. This is the Criterion I got for about 13 quid on eBay. There is also a standard MGM release from years ago, which might be a bit cheaper if you're interested in checking the film out. But yeah, that is 12 Angry Men. Next up is my pick for the watch pile this week, so I won't go into too much detail on this one. If you want to know my full thoughts, go back and watch the video for that. It's Journeyman, Paddy Considine film, also starring Paddy Considine and Jodie Whittaker. Brilliant film, probably the highlight of the week, or one of the top highlights of the week for me, for sure. Just one of the best performances I've seen from Paddy Considine ever. Probably the best performance, I'm going to say. He was incredible in this. It really pulls you into the film even more. It's such a hard watch, as for quite a few of the films I watched this week, actually. But such a powerful film, just really well done. If you want to know more thoughts of this and a little bit about what it's about, go back and watch my watch pile video. I do go into it a bit more there, but thoroughly enjoyed it overall, and one that will 100% be staying in the collection to watch again in the future. That is Journeyman. And next up, the start of the recommendations this week. This week it's been a mix of Roy and a mix of Sam. So I've got 2 of Roy's recommendations I've watched, 3 of Sam's. There's still more of both of theirs that I want to try and get watched this week, that I've picked up on their recommendation. One of which I'm definitely going to watch tonight, but you can find out on the stream tomorrow what that was. But yeah, first of Roy's recommendations that I watched this week was A Dry White Season on the BFI label. Got a great cast in it. You got Donald Sutherland, Susan Sarandon, Marlon Brando. This guy, I'm not too familiar with his name. It's Zax Mokay. Excuse me. Basically, this centers around apartheid in South Africa in the early 70s. And this protest by these groups of kids is being held because of the racism happening and the just injustice that's happening within the country. Now, it's really quite shocking to watch the start of this, what happens. Basically, the police just attack these children, hundreds of children that are just peacefully protesting against racism. Lots of these children are killed. And this one character, who happens to be Donald Sutherland's character's gardener, his son goes missing. So his gardener is basically trying to find out what's happened to him, where he's gone. And the police find out that he's been looking into this, and they basically take him in the middle of the night. It's not spoiling it because it's what gets the story going, and it says on the back, and they brutally torture him and eventually kill him. And this gets Donald Sutherland's character, who's the local teacher, involved into getting some justice for his friend and his son. And it's just so disturbing what goes on in here. Trying to fight for the police force that's so corrupt. They're like called the Special Branch, and they're basically silencing anyone that speaks out against them. You got Marlon Brando, who's not got a huge performance in this, huge role, shall I say. He plays the lawyer that tries to help in the case. You got Susan Sarandon, who's a journalist who's trying to also help Donald Sutherland. This guy, Stanley is his character's name. He is basically the local activist that's trying to help as well. It's just a really brilliant film, really hard to watch as well, especially the ending's quite sad. But also, you're like, I said to Roy when I'd watched it, you're like, yeah. You like feel good at the same time as well for what happens at the end, as well as feeling bad. But it's a brilliant film. If you can get this, I highly recommend checking it out if you like a good drama, thriller, based on a true story sort of thing. I believe it's still in the BFI sale, 50% off. So go and get it whilst you can if you're interested. If you like those sorts of films, I don't think you'd be disappointed. So yeah, that is A Dry White Season. Next up again on the BFI label, this time one of Sam's picks, or recommendations, shall I say, which I think he watched a few weeks ago now and said he really liked it. And it is Heavenly Pursuits with Tom Conti and Helen Mirren. Sort of in the vein of Gregory's Girl and Local Hero. Now, I personally, of the three, liked Local Hero a mile ahead of both of the others. Just something about that film that I absolutely adored. Gregory's Girl would probably be next for me. I really did like that. And then this, which is, of all the films I've watched this week, this is probably at the bottom, but still a 3.5 stars, so still really good. So in this, it's set at a Catholic school, I believe, in Glasgow, and it follows Tom Conti's character, who's a teacher, who doesn't really believe in miracles or anything like that. And then one day, one of the girls that goes to the school who couldn't walk, all of a sudden can start walking again, and they all start to believe, all the staff and all the students start to believe that miracles do happen. You've got Helen Mirren's character, who's like a new teacher. She's the music teacher, I believe. He kind of falls for her. She's trying to kind of get him to open his eyes up to see that something's really going on here. And yeah, something's going on with him. He keeps fainting, and he goes to the hospital and finds out, well, he doesn't find out, but they find out something's wrong with him, seriously wrong with him. But yeah, it's all about like miracles and that sort of thing, with your coming of age sort of comedy in it. And yeah, it's good. I'd definitely give it a watch again. It's not on the same level, I would say, as your Gregory's Girl or Local Hero, but it's still a fun, decent, pleasant watch. If you like those sorts of films, definitely recommend checking it out, because it's not bad at all. It was quite good. So yeah, that is Heavenly Pursuit. Next up, we got another one of Roy's recommendations. I believe he watched this last week in his last weekly watches, this was. And it's one I'd actually started watching a few years ago, and I didn't get to watch all of it because it was streaming, so it was buffering, so I never went back to it. So I thought, yeah, I'm just going to pick up the DVD for a few quid and finally give it a watch. Another really hard watch here, though. Yeah, this was quite a difficult watch, definitely. Leaving Las Vegas, Nicolas Cage in an Oscar-winning performance, Elizabeth Shue, a Mike Figgis film. Yeah, really hard watch. This is all about addiction and the struggles of addiction. Centres around Nicolas Cage's character Ben, who is a really heavy alcoholic. His life's fallen apart around him. He's lost his wife, he's just lost his job, all because of drinking. And he decides he's going to go to Las Vegas and basically just drink himself to death. Whilst there, he meets Sarah, Elizabeth Shue's character, who's a prostitute, who he befriends, really. They start to form a bond. And they basically start this sort of love affair of sorts, and both make each other a promise. He won't stop her from seeing whoever she wants if she won't stop him drinking as much as he wants, and they agree to that. But you can see it's starting to make both of their lives fall apart, and it leads to utterly devastating consequences, which changes both of their lives forever. And it's just so well done. The performances in this are incredible. If you haven't had much faith in Nicolas Cage, just watch this, because the first 10 minutes of his performance in this film alone were enough to win him the Oscar. Just an absolutely incredible film, incredible performances, great drama. Definitely recommend checking that one out. I'd love to get the Blu-ray, but it's very out of print now, so unless it gets re-released, quite happy with the DVD for now. That is Leaving Las Vegas. Two left, which I watched yesterday, both Sam's recommendations. First up was The Mask, one that he mentioned on his monthly watches video that he does every month. And this was one that I really hadn't got on with in the past. I tried watching this a few times in the past and just didn't get on with it. But the way that Sam spoke about this so enthusiastically, and the fact that I am getting into more of this era of Jim Carrey's comedies again now, made me just want to go back and pick it up and watch it again. And I did watch it yesterday evening, and I thoroughly enjoyed it this time. It's just such a fun, cool, easy film to watch. Great score as well. I don't know who does the score, but it's a great score. Randy Edelman, yeah, he's usually pretty good, isn't he? Based on a comic book as well, I believe. Basically in this, Jim Carrey plays Stanley Ipkiss, who is like a bank teller, works at a bank, meets Cameron Diaz's character in her first film, who is, to him, just a beautiful woman that just wants to open the bank. He thinks that she adores him, whereas she's secretly working for this big mafioso gangster kind of guy that is looking to rob the bank. One day, he basically tries to get into this club owned by this bloke to see Cameron Diaz's cat, because she's invited him because she's dancing for the first time. He gets kicked out. He's kind of downtrodden on his way home and thinks someone's drowning in a river. Turns out to be The Mask, which he takes home with him, and hilarity ensues, I will say. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Very wacky, off the walls, specifically his performance when he is the Mask in this. I think it matches Stanley's character because he's very meek. Don't really say much. Nice mix of characters there. But yeah, just a lot of fun. Easy watch. If you like Jim Carrey, yeah, recommend this one. I have got another one, or should I say two, on the way. Off the back of watching this, that I want to watch again because I've not seen them for years, and I'm hoping I'll like them more. But yeah, that is The Mask. And the final one, which is another of the highlights, I put this up with Journeyman as my second absolute highlight of the week. I know Sam loves this film, so it was pretty solid that I was going to really like this film as well, and I did. Something about films like this that I just absolutely adore, and that is Zach Braff's Garden State. Absolutely love this film. Obviously starring Zach Braff. You've got some great actors in it. Peter Sarsgaard, Natalie Portman, Ian Holm, and two great character actors that I absolutely love, that I've seen quite a few things from them recently. In Jean Smart, who I know most recently from Hacks. She's excellent in that. I think she's won a few Emmys for that. She plays a great character in this. She plays Peter Sarsgaard's character's mum. She's great in this. Not got a big role, but she's great. And Anne Dowd as well, who I watched last week in Compliance. She plays Natalie Portman's character's mum. She's really good, the part she has in it. And yeah, it's just a great coming-of-age teen not teen, young adult comedy about a guy that comes back home. He's an actor from LA, comes back home, I don't know where it is, New Jersey, for his mother's funeral. Sees his friends whilst he's back. One of his friends is Peter Sarsgaard, who's kind of never left home. He's working at the cemetery doing graves. And he also meets Natalie Portman's character, who bit weird, but they all kind of just fall in with each other, become friends, and it's about being young, that sort of thing. Ian Holm plays Zach Braff's character's dad, who's a psychiatrist, who's kind of just trying to talk to him the whole time he's home. And yeah, it's just a great film. Great soundtrack as well. Sam wasn't wrong there. And one that I can't wait to go back to again. If you've not seen this, I know Ash has probably seen this, but this would be right up Ash's street as well. Yeah, just love this film. Can't wait to go back and see it again soon. So yeah, that is Garden State. And that is everything that I've watched in the last week. So yeah, not too much this week. I'd imagine it's going to be about the same this week, but I'm going to still be doing the same watching recommendations. Obviously, I'll have my one watch pile. If I run out of the stuff that I've wanted to watch, I will go back to the watch pile picks and watch some of them as well. Yeah, that's it for this video. Let me know if you've seen any of those down in the comment section below, and leave me your thoughts on them. And yeah, as I said, live stream tomorrow night, 7:30 as usual. Be good to see anyone that pops up there. Should be a fun one. But yeah, that is it for this video. If you like it, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Turn your notification bell on so you know when I have a new video uploaded to the channel. Comment down below anything and everything. As you know, I always take the time to get back to anyone that leaves me a comment because I really do appreciate it. And that is it. So until next time, everyone, take care. Goodbye.